Hello everybody, we are back again and it's BLUE-3 again this week. Gerald Arendt and myself working on this new sound set which will be part of the Explorer 10, and it will be a trade sound set. And I just ahead of the live stream I downloaded some new presets from Gerald. This is a variation on one of my sounds. So the original sound, that's the whole story. We each create our own presets and then we remix the presets to make it a very excuse me, I was too late to hit the mute button. That was a firm sneeze, maybe too much dust in my studio, but give me a second. Yeah, too much. So I'm just playing. This was the original sound, Sky Plug, which uses the string model in combination with FM. So that's cool. With BLUE-3, you have FM synthesis, but we also added the string model. And the variation of Gerald. Oh, my sustain pedal is the other way around. That's not nice. Let me see if I can change that MIDI setting. That's not good. Pedals. Shift plus browser. No, I don't get it. Okay, should not. I need to adjust the keyboard here. And so this is then the variation. Is this one? So you see then. So let me go to the main screen. It's nice to look at. You have then. Once this sound bank is released, you have then Skyplug A RP, which is the original preset. You go to the next one. Then is Skyplug B, which is from Gerald Arendt, which is a very different one. So they are very related, but also, yeah, essentially these are remixes. So I'm going back now to the manager to see some of the new ones. So I click then order by date, and then I have the newer ones. And I can see Marimba Plug is a new one by Gerald. So this is the original one. This sound uses also the FM synthesis together with a sample. It's a nice plucky. So let's see what Gerald made from it. This is then plug B, Gerald Arendt. More darker plug. Nice. So this is how the bank develops. Synth Junkyard Find 8. This is one by Gerald. Very stereo, and I made this variation of it. It's a very basic sound. Weird combination sound. So let me see. Oh, we have down here the pulse of peace. open the modulation wheel. You see it on the other screen. So I almost would say maybe we should also have then this sound this way. That will be an idea. I need to mention this to Gerald. And I made this variation. So then you got pulse of piece B, which is then flute. Flute is a little bit too high, I notice, so I need to... Still need to work on this preset, but I think this will be then a variation, but as you notice, it's not ready yet. Ultimate's not in my impression. One of the sounds which are popped in my mind, because BLUE-3 has great choirs, is to make a big choir sound. So that's one of my own new ones. Let me play one of my new ones, which is... Oh, now I need to look to the name. Is this one? No, that's a pad sound. That's not choir. Oh, it's a variation by Gerald on my sound. Very nice. So there should be an original one. That's this one. Big layer sound, but that's not the one I meant. So this is version A, Ambient Giant A, which is a pad sound created by me, and the variation by Gerald, so Ambient Giant B. It's much different, but very nice. A bit less, a bit more light. Okay, looking here. Let's see where I have the choir sound, which I mentioned. Pat. Aha, here it is. This is the this is one of my new ones. So this one, there's no variation yet by Gerald, but this is the big space choir. So picture a choir in space. Definitely they would have a firm pack to avoid the cold, but it's in space, so it has a lot of reverb. Of course, with pads, it's important that you play not too many notes, and sometimes it's good to spread them out. So if we take a low F, one octave higher, the G sharp, and then the C. Oh, without the lower F. And then there is a cluster one, which is this one. More variation. So this is one of my newer ones, of course, still in progress. We are a bit in a delay. We had yesterday morning an attempt, or yesterday night, an attempt to hack our homepage. That sometimes it happens. There are always criminals active to hack homepages, and there was also an attempt on our homepage. Lucky enough, he could not do anything, but the whole support section went with 1,700 requests by this person, and in this request he did try to hack the system. It's ridiculous, but yeah, we adapted a little bit to it. It's pretty safe on our homepage, but yeah, they always try something. Another nice sequence sound is this one. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, this one by Gerald's nice arpeggiator sound. Okay, Pascal, what do you notice the hack B, E? Because of the news, because of the newsletter? I'm not sure what you mean by the newsletter. Our newsletter was not hacked, I hope. That will be a bad thing. I need to check that because you mentioned it. I don't think he did get access to our newsletter thing. Or did you get weird emails? I don't think so. I had no other reports. Just let me know, Pascal, in the chat room. So this is another clave rave. So if you open the modulation wheel, oh, you did not get the notification email for the newsletter. Well, newsletter, we use your mailing list provider. So we use an external company to send out the newsletter. So if you would go to our homepage, let me show this for a second. You can go here about, so I'm looking here. So you can go to the main page, then you got here newsletter, and here you can subscribe to the newsletter. And then you should get a confirmation of it. It's outside our system. It's your mailing list provider. So that's the email provider we use because they have a far more sophisticated system for sending newsletter. Let me see if I can show that. So this is the your mailing list provider. This is the one. And we send a newsletter by using this system already for many years. You can unsubscribe from it or subscribe. And of course, we always have, what we always try to do is have some interesting news inside the newsletter. So it's the max you get from us is 2 newsletters a month. That will be max from us, from our side. Okay, so back to the sound set. We are progressing. So there are some new sounds I did not hear myself. I need to adjust the volumes and that kind of thing. You see also I'm testing some other things. Junkyard Fine B. We had that one as well. Kitchen Groove. Using the arpeggiator, but then in chord mode. That's cool if you have a sequence play. And the cool thing is, the guitar is playing power chord. I think what I do, I heard some other noises, but that was power chord. So the cool thing is, if you have this preset, if we release this preset, and once it is released next month, hopefully, and you play around, you always can make your own variations, which I mentioned many times in BLUE-3, by simply shutting down one of the oscillators. For the same reason that this is the sound which is needed in your song. So even cool, isn't it? I have a beat in the background. Yeah, thank you guys for joining the live stream. I see I made some typo in the I forgot to adjust the right date, because of course it should be 16. I can adjust that tomorrow. I don't think that I can open it now. That will be stopping the live stream. So I will add that, of course, after the live stream. I will adjust the date. Good one, because we are not back in time, of course. So BLUE-3, so maybe it's an interesting thing. So looking here to some of the presets, you see, it's very versatile also for bass. So on this one, I should then make a variation. So this is version A. Let's do live a remix of the sound. What I would do with this sound, so. That's a very nice movement inside of it. You even can play monophonic. So what I would do, make it legato. Make less velocity on volume, so that's a little. Now, and then I would see what he did here. He has a sub-oscillator active, which is controlled by velocity, okay. And gone is it's a nice basic sound. This digital waveform has a wave shaping on it. So if you go down here, wave shaping, that's also inside BLUE-3. So we have FM synthesis, string model, sample, subtractive. We have then also wave shaping and phase distortion. So this is. And it uses spread, which makes from one oscillator. So if I open the filter, This is one oscillator, but he's using it dynamically, so I need to adjust that. CC modulation, oscillator 1 spread, 26%. I mute that now. This is one oscillator, and you can. So once you open spread, what it means, instead of having one oscillator, it generates 3 oscillator within oscillator 1. So one oscillator stays in the middle, and the other 2 detune outwards. So essentially, with one oscillator and using spread, I have in the background 3 oscillators playing. Of course, you cannot individually, these 3 inside the one are changed, but you have the spread, which is detuning. It's a bit like, essentially, it's like how the super saw works, which is, sometimes people are confused by what it is, but essentially a super saw is a multiple saw waveform, a multiple oscillator saw waveform. That's essentially what is happening. And somebody did look into that, I think, and he came to the conclusion that there were about 5 oscillators in this super saw which were playing and which were detuning. So we use 3. Okay, so that is his sound, so I will make it. By the way, this is a nice trick. If you click on this icon, it opens the filter envelope. So he uses a fade. I don't like the fade. So it's gonna be a bass sound, so I need to bit low end. What I could use is the sub oscillator. Hear that? It's a bit like a clavinet type of bass sound. I think that one is nicer. That's a nice attack. I could stack that maybe with a real bass, because we have also instruments here. Bass. This is a real bass. And then let's go that one to destination filter 2. And I take a filter 2, a high pass filter, which is maybe strange for your feeling, but I would use then only the attack of it. So not the low end. The low end would come from oscillator 1. And then we add here one of the. And it might sound thin to you, but it's for the, for the attack sound. And maybe even can use for the attack, but maybe it's a little bit too much. So I'm combining it now with a sample. This is a bass sample. That's nice. But bass normally doesn't have any sustain because the string always fades out. So I shut down the sustain and keep a very long decay. Nice. Let's see, multi-envelope. Oh, there's more going on. Multi-envelope 1. Aha. Oh, that's a little bit too much pitch bend. So let's go to 2 semi. And then what I could also do is portamento. Held rate means that you need to hold play legato. Yeah, that's would be my variation. Of course, maybe I'll tweak a little bit, save preset as, and then it would be Happy Dystopia B with my initials added to it. Okay, so we have another variation remix. So this was the original one that Gerald made. And this is my variation, which is monophonic. Of course, in the tagging, I need to adjust. So set category, legato mode, short release. And of course, I need to check. This one is also sample based. Also need to check if something is working here. So that's good. And of course the modulation. Okay, some good electric pianos. Yeah, FM synthesis we have, of course, in the Bank Manager. You can scroll up or scroll down. We have some. Let me see. Where I can find that. Ooh. I think synth sounds. Here we should have some E pianos. Only my sustain pedal is wrong. I need to adjust it. So here you can see that we use 5 oscillators. Here you can see 1 goes out, 2 modulates 3, 4 and 5 modulates 6. So if I shut down 3, it doesn't go to the output, which is in this case, it goes to FX1. So I shut down. Then we only hear 4, 5 modulating 6. So it starts with a sinus. Then it's modulated by this one. And you see each oscillator has its own velocity. Because if you go too hard, then the sound is gone. And of course, that's one of the essential things, is that with FM synthesis, you have an oscillator 6, which is modulated by another one. And this one, simply there's no change to it. I put a little bit of drifting inside of it, which could be gone if it's really... And then it's modulated by another oscillator. So the other oscillator, this one, doesn't go to the filter or to the FX, but you see here, destinations is oscillator 6, because that's determined by the algorithm here. So 5 modulates 6, and that's the whole difficult thing with FM synthesis, is to have the right setting. Because now I need to... Now I already have a little bit of an E piano. But if I have the wrong, let's say the wrong tuning here, the whole sound goes whack. So now I got more bells. Yeah, and the number 5, and I click here on the icon of this envelope, and then it goes down here to this oscillator 5, and you see it's active because the envelope amount is open, which means that this oscillator 5 envelope controls the volume. And that makes the FM sound, because if I shut down the envelope amount to 0, then the oscillator 5 continuously modulates the oscillator 6. And that's not useful for the FM synthesis. So it creates a kind of short transit. Maybe that's a good... So that will be the first oscillator, but then you see in the algorithm there's even another one, number 4, which adds also some modulation. So FM synthesis is very complex, and we made it the case with BLUE-3. You cannot load in FM sounds from the DX7 because we thought, yeah, this is a new concept. We use the strengths of FM synthesis and combine that with the strengths of subtractive. And up top of that, we put also other stuff like the string models, the samples. So it's really across what I called at that time, and it's still the case, it's a cross-fusion synthesizer. It fusions and crosses different syntheses together. And FF synthesis is, of course, not an easy one to understand. And even for me, I had to learn, and I think there are even people which are more skilled. So I really work very much on intuition. So essentially, that's the base. The oscillators modulate the other oscillators, and then it generates the sound. So it's very good for percussive sounds. And if I click up here to original again, you hear the sound. So if I shut down now 6, it means that 6 goes not out. So 6 means that I only hear 2 and 3. So essentially 3 I hear. And that one I used in this sound for the high ping in this sound. So the oscillator 6, it's more the body, and 3 adds this so it's and we have some. So these are in synth sound too. But the FM synthesis makes it possible to combine stuff, and that's what makes BLUE-3 so cool. It's, of course, not an easy synthesizer to learn, although if you understand the basic concept, it's you get a lot of new stuff inside of it. So if I go to an example, which I very often show why this synth is different from any other FM synthesizer, it's because, for instance, this one's a good one, the Kefleet, which is a very old preset. And you would think distortion is used. No, this one uses FM synthesis, but 3, 4, and 5 are modulating oscillator 6. But in this case, it's not a sinus waveform which is modulated, which makes then this sound. But if it's set on a square, you get this sound. So yeah, and you can combine. So this is also a combination. This uses string model and FM synthesis. So this is the string model sound, and this is the nasty snappy bass. Okay, let me check the chat room because some questions pop up. How can you make the interface smaller? It's not a flexible, adjustable user interface. If you go to the upper right corner, you have the control page, and we have the option for 100%, 125%, 150, and 200%. Of course, it's a synthesizer many use because of the great amount of fantastic presets. And yeah, the introduction bank. So if you never heard about BLUE-3, download the demo version. The introduction bank shows a lot of what is possible inside the BLUE-3. There's also built-in sequencer, not only arpeggiator, but also sequencer, which has the option, this is the normal view, to change the waveform per step. So it's also wave sequencing. Yeah, FM synthesis is not easy, but we make it easy because we have some great sounds. And as mentioned, sometimes with BLUE-3, it's easy by shutting down one oscillator to make it fit in your piece of music. If I simply hear a, let's see if I have a power chord. Okay, shut down. Let's see what happens. Maybe this is better for your song. So simply by shutting down, no, the tambourine type of sound is gone. So built-in sequencer. So the built-in samples and sounds presets are very often also a very good starting point. So here we have a pan flute, which I sampled, which is a very, but that's of course a sample. And you could combine that one with something else. That's the cool thing. You simply, if you say, okay, I want to combine that one with a, let's see if we see also these are the waveforms, the basic, these are virtual waveforms. Then you got the string model, and then you get a range of samples, which are really focusing on synth sound. So you will not find a real piano or a banjo inside it. It's really the focus on real sound. So I could say combine this one. Let me see if we can. I'm looking for one particular sound. Sound 2 with the pan flute. I'm not sure if that one is a good combination, but it's possible. So the introduction bank, and what we started at the beginning of the live stream is that we work on a new sound bank for the Explorer 10, which will be a separate sound bank for if you don't own the Explorer bundle, then you can, and you have BLUE-3, you can purchase this extra sound bank. It's a combination sounds which we do, Gerald Arendt and myself combined sound design, which is fun to do. So he creates a preset, I make a remix of it, and also vice versa. So this is a what we added also to BLUE-3. I sampled the Solina strings, and of course you have here the synthesizer feature with a square waveform. and combine that with a what I call a swept pad. Yeah, I think many people struggle with FM synthesis. Interface have adjustment. I don't understand what you mean by adjustment. We have different user interface sizes. You see 100%. So it depends on your screen. What will fit? I have a wide screen which has some. So 100% screen should fit on a full HD. At least you need a full HD screen. I think most people use a full HD because you don't want to limit yourself down with a small screen, especially with Music Maker. The bigger the screen, the nicer, the more fields you have, the better it is. So I always can advise everybody to use a widescreen, which you see if you look in the upper corner. It looks like I have two screens open, but it's a widescreen. So at least you need a full HD. Then it will fit with the 100%, and I believe even the 125%. One of the things which I mentioned also a few times is you have up here the different pages, also the easy page, which is where you can do some general changes. If you are a bit offended by all the programs you see, all the dials, you can have here some minimal adjustments, change the FX, do the changes. So if you would go back to the piano sounds, E-piano, and we go to the easy page, then you could see global feedback. No, that doesn't work. You can see, okay, yeah, you can change the waveform. Not working. No, let's see, global filter, global modulator. So it's all global. Global velocity. That you could change. You can change here the FX. You see chorus, reverb, or bypass it. Of course, if you adjust the preset here and you like to keep it, it's wise to save the preset with a new name. That's, of course, something then you need to do. So there's an easy page if you are a little bit too much overwhelmed by the amount of dials and things you see. So this is the main section of the oscillator. Then you have down here all kind of sub sections where you have all kind of other cool things, like for instance, if you go to the cluster bank, you have all the cluster sounds, which are chords. And here you see this chord lights up with a little LED. And you see this one uses 3 notes with a strumming time. I can even make a tempo sync. There's so much to tell. This is, of course, as an animation. If you don't want to have all these complex pages in front of you, you can adjust it. The amount of options in BLUE-3 is ridiculous. I think it's still very user-friendly if you're a little bit into synthesis, but I think many people will simply use it as a super synthesizer because that has such a great sound. So go back to the manager. So once we are releasing this new sound bank, it will be 17 Explorer X. So that will be the number, bank 17 Explorer X. And we had the Sky plug. Plucky sound. And you see a little LED here that it is the arpeggiator. And if you think, I want to play it myself, then I'd simply go to the play section, and then you say poly. So it's especially for creating music, fantastic. It's so even if you are not deep into synthesis, it offers you I think over 4,000 fantastic presets in various styles, weird stuff, cool stuff, even hip hop sounds are inside of it. Oh, here's also, oh, just like a steel string, but then used by advanced synthesis. Good basses. Aha. What do you think of this one, guys? It's dry. So let's see, have a... Yeah, so much inside of it. So this hip-hop style thing. Avicii also was a big Blue fan. Nice filters. Goes from very deep. So the introduction bank really shows what is possible. Mad synth. Of course, we have some brilliant presets by Jamal. Yeah. Okay, let's see the chat room. Yeah, you see a lot of pad banks. Many of them very... Well, these are one of the newer ones. So yeah, you very often see that people do some reissues of classic synthesizers. You see in my background have a Prophet 600, Jupiter 8, Minimoog. I will never do that, but of course I'm inspired by that. And that's also with this sound, which is inspired on a, let me see in my head, Fantasy CS-60 or CX-80 combined with Selena Strings. And Selena Strings was the Dutch brand. They used the Selena Strings in the music studios in the 70s because real strings were very expensive. And if you play the Selena Strings very high, you can make some nice... And then that one is combined with a... DX7 piano, yeah, but these are plenty as plugins. You have plenty, or sometimes sample bass. You mean this hip hop bank where I had this FM piano, which but they in the synth bank sounds. This one uses a fader. Yeah, that destrumming is a very cool feature. So you go to the chord, and then you see you can choose up to 8 notes, and then you simply detune them. So now I would make a minor chord. Of course, I need to put it on. So chord mode 3 or 4. Keep in mind, of course, that the synthesizer uses then also more voices, because I press one note, but essentially the engine presses also the other notes for me. And then you got here the strum time. And we can make them tempo based. If you see in the upper corner, you have the readout, then it shows also, if you go with the pop-up here, it should be 1/8 note. So if you have a beat, so let's play the beat. And you can make even the panning change here. It's ridiculous, the features. I go to the FX section. Okay, guitar player is playing in the background. So that's the chord, and there are many presets. We have even a bank which is called the cluster bank, where you see all kind of sounds using the chord memory. Vanish Digi cluster. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, so a full bank was all kind of ambient glass cluster. Haha, strumming. A good question. Did Philips ever made a synthesizer? I'm not sure. The Solina strings was made by Eminent. Eminent, that was the brand. And Jean-Michel Jarre, it became very famous with Jean-Michel Jarre. He put a phaser on the Solina strings, and then you had the famous Jean-Michel Jarre sound. I think in the pads I should have the Solina strings phase, another Solina phase. Only this one is created by 3 oscillators, so this is not a Solina string. Sorry guys. Not a really Solina. That's a recreation by me. Where did I put it? Oh, Ambient Solina GP. No, that's not a phasing string. That's an ambient sound. And that's also one of the reasons, many times I told it before, is that we have on the right-hand side, this is always visible, the amp section with your main volume envelope and the play mode, because that's what you very often use. And you see here a very long attack time, which means it takes very long before it fades in the sound, and a very long release down sound. And that's, then you have this Ambient Solina GP pad, which is a pad creating using the synthesis, so the subtractive synthesis in BLUE-3 together with the Solina string sample. It's a very different feeling, because if I change now the envelope attack and the release, yeah, and even I could make it a techno sound. So yeah, you see it? Techno sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see how much the amp envelope influences the sound. So if I throw up this again, and suddenly it's a spacey ambient pad sound. And what I did here is combining the Selena strings, because this here, oscillator 2, 3, and 4 are doing more this mellow pad sound. And on top, you get this very bright, light Selena string. And if you think, I only want to have the Selena, then you shut down the rest and you simply play only. Yes, guys, that was it for today. Thanks for watching. Next week we can continue with BLUE-3. Maybe if you work yourself with BLUE-3 and you like something explained by me, there's so much to tell, and therefore we have the live streams. Yeah, we dive into this great product. Thanks for watching, and oh yeah, Johan, you mentioned it's the Philips, an FM composer. Yeah, now I can recall it. It even have a cassette recorder, if I'm not wrong. They had a kind of FM composer thing. Yeah, cool. I'm not sure if you can share the image in the chat room. And otherwise, email it me, and we could look into it next week. Anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Spread the word on internet that we have the live stream each Thursday, 8 o'clock, Amsterdam time, Central European time, it's called. And we catch up next week. Bye-bye. Keep well and enjoy creating music. Bye-bye.